the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? You and me! God damn it! My life has value! It's time to ask yourself what you believe.
Mass murder, torture, perjury, embezzlement, fraud, deception, treason. These are just a few of your many crimes against humanity. You will not win this war, for you are fighting the very essence of humanity.
Hi, welcome to Truth or Talk. I'm April Bowden. And I'm Virstyne Henry. All right, this show we're going to talk about weed. Right. Well, yeah, we are. First, you can find our website at truthertease.com, our store at shop.truthertease.com. And we don't have any weed there, though. Not at our shop. I jumped the gun because I was so excited we were going to talk about weed. We didn't even do our intro. I'm just like, weed! We don't have a name. It's just weed today. No, it's not just that we're going to talk about weed. We're actually going to talk about hemp because it's not quite the same thing. People think hemp is the plant. The thing that people get high on is the weed, is the stem, right? Isn't it? It's like the bud. Yeah. But actually the leaves that grow, I mean, you don't really get high off of those. Those are, I mean, you would have to really smoke a lot to get high. You can juice them though and get a lot of health benefits from them. You can juice them and get a lot of health benefits. Yeah. That way you can, with the seeds, you can make milk and you can make cheese and butter and ice cream and bread. I mean, have you done that? Have you tried to do any of those things? From the seeds, I've had hemp milk before. I've had hemp butter before. Hemp seeds are really expensive. I saw some in Whole Foods the other day, and I only go to Whole Foods for special trips because they're like super expensive. Like I'll buy like 2 things and I'll spend like $20 there, you know. But I saw some hemp seeds there, and I was thinking about maybe next time I'll try and make something with them. But you can take the seeds. They're high in omega-3s. They're really good for you. Right. I don't like the hemp milk that much. We usually drink like sunflower or almond. But did you like the hemp milk? Do you think it's all right? I like chocolate hemp milk. I like it's really rich. I think I've had hemp ice cream before. It seems like I have. I just can't remember when, and I like that. Yeah, it always tastes good. You put chocolate and sugar and things. You can make. Yeah. It's the richness though, because it's very it's oily. It's the seeds have like I said, they have omega-3s, and things that have omega-3s are really like oily and fatty. You know? Yeah, it is unfortunate that they're so expensive because they are really rich in omega-3s. We try to get the benefits of that, so you can also get the benefits of that from flax or chia, and you can grind them up, but it's good to vary it. I think that helps the body, especially if you're prone to allergies, to switch up what sources you're getting your omegas from, because then you want to be able to avoid getting allergies that way. But hemp is, I think that's part of the big scam, don't you? Isn't that the shim-sham on the wham-wham? Is the whole making it expensive and hard to access and all that? I don't know if it's expensive, though, because it's just not as common. I'm not sure. I mean, I have to do more research on that. You know, when there's also, like, because I'm into making a lot of raw stuff and, like, raw gourmet stuff, raw dishes. So I find it seems like a lot of stuff that maybe isn't as common is just more expensive. But I don't know for sure. It could be part of the scam. But, I mean, it is, too, because if you're, a lot of people don't know how healthy this stuff is for you when they think about weed or hemp or, it always has a stigma attached to it anyway, so a lot of people are going to steer clear of it, just because of the stigma attached to it, but not really knowing that it's really healthy for you to consume it. But it's also, you can also, with the stalk, you can make, you can build houses. You can, it would solve our oil problem as far as like, we can have our cars run on it, and it's less harmful for the environment. plastics. You can make plastics out of it. All this plastic, because plastic is made out of petroleum, which is oil. You know, so I mean, it's just and it goes back into the environment, so it's not harmful. You know,
right.
Biodegradable and anyway, so we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about
weed. Not weed. I just like saying weed, but it's hemp. We're talking about hemp, you know,
right.
today.
Yeah, hemp, and then there's also cannabis oil, which is cannabis is the oil derivative, and that can be used for medicinally. It can be used because I mean medical marijuana. We're in California, and it's actually illegal here in this state to use it medicinally for certain things. And so I know some people have used it for, I don't know, cancer. I think it's anti-inflammatory. Isn't that how it works? It's actually old.
I mean, and depending on, because there's the strains, right? Like there's sativas, which are like uppers, and the indicas, which are like downers. So a lot of people too that have cancer, they use it to help them increase their appetite, or to either help them sleep or stay awake, depending on what they need to do. Also, you can make clothes from hemp.
Yeah.
You can make clothes, you can make shoes, you can make T-shirts, you can make, I guess more appropriately you would say like textiles, right? And a lot of the original, when they used to have the big wooden boats way back in the day, the sails are made of hemp, the ropes are made of hemp. I mean, there's so much that we can, and it grows anywhere.
Right.
Damn near anywhere. It grows very fast.
Yeah, it's a weed, as you know.
Yeah, it's a weed.
That's why it's called a weed, because it's actually a weed, and it has I mean, you know, it's an actual weed, so which makes it very durable, and it grows in many different climates, and it doesn't it's just a real easy thing to grow. It doesn't require a lot of pesticides because it doesn't tend to attract
any pesticides really, for that matter, yeah.
Right, because it doesn't attract any bugs, and so it's a really cool thing, or it's a really beneficial thing. Our founders they were all weed smokers, and then they used hemp back in those days, before it was illegal, many years in the 1700s. They were using hemp to make their houses, to make their sheets, to make their clothes, and all that kind of stuff back then. It's funny how the clothes. You're right. I think it's just because it's harder to get. Is probably one of the reasons it's more expensive. So it's harder to get because people can't legally grow it in this country. So the hemp that we get in this country is imported from Canada usually.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. I think that.
But you know, you think about all the problems it can solve. Why is it illegal to grow? So that's the real shim on the wind ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the real master plan to keep it suppressed. Because I mean, it would put a lot of people out of it. A lot of people that are in control, that want to stay in control. It will leave a lot of people out of business. It will make actually more people independent, which is what, you know, the government doesn't want, or the rogue government doesn't want. You know, they don't want people being independent and being able to build stuff that can, you know, where they're not having to depend on anything, making their own food, being healthy, you know.
Well, think of the big cash cow. I mean, if you're talking about, they're going to eliminate oil. If you're going to eliminate all these things that you're saying, it can be used for cars to run on it. You can use it to, you know, build houses. You can use it to all these things, and you know, all of their war profiteering, all their military-industrial complex ventures is about the oil. And the oil is more valuable because at some point it's going to run out.
It's rare. Yeah.
At some point
it's running out and it's rare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when you have it's rare. But when you have something that's not, and it's easy to reproduce, and it's, you know, I saw somewhere recently someone posted something that said that the government actually has a patent on marijuana, and so here's the thing about that.
Oh, heck no. They're going to put GMO crap in it, or they're going to do, you know what I mean? I don't trust that.
That's the only way you can patent something. You have to genetically engineer it. And so if you're going to patent something that's a natural organism. How can you patent something that's, of nature? It's only because they genetically engineer it that they can patent it. So,
oh my God. You're going to smoke it and 3 eyes or something like that. It's going to be terrible. Well, I can't trust that for
No, it's going to be terrible. So that's the whole point is in a way, I mean, everybody, I think it should be legal. I think it's ridiculous that it's not, but I really don't want it to be legal, and have it, and just have them have the access to how people can
have the
get
government. Yeah, or if it should be legal, it should be legal, and then people should be able to do what they want with how
it. Grow it,
Yeah, and do it themselves. Actually, in California, I think you can grow up to 6 plants per household, per license.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not going to really put a dent in the oil industry. You know what I mean? So it's not a huge concern for them. But I just, I wouldn't, just like they do what cigarettes are legal. But look all the stuff that they put in cigarettes, fiberglass and urine and ammonia and all this other shit that they found in addition to tobacco.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
The tobacco is also genetically engineered that they use in cigarettes. It's a GMO.
So
they all have their own GMO brand that they use, and this has been going on for years.
How is this shit even allowed to happen? I think about a lot of the stuff that those agreements we've made as a people, and I guess I do know it's people just don't pay attention. But I mean, if you think about all of the stuff that we made agreements to, how is it even morally, ethically possible to allow people to genetically engineer food and patent it?
Right.
I think about sometimes it's ridiculous that we have to pay for water. We have to pay for electricity.
Yeah.
We have to pay for things like that. We have to pay, they don't belong to anybody. But, people have figured out a way to harness it and trick us into believe that we need to pay money for these things. But we shouldn't have to,
Right. No, yeah.
And anybody that proposes free energy, I remember I interviewed Donald Adams from Selling the Stars, and he was talking about that there is free energy. He's seen these things that a lot of the people that he's known has ended up dead or have their lives threatened if they want to bring it out. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
I think about I don't know if I ever sent you this. There's this guy named Dean Kamen who invented the Segway, and he invented this machine called a slingshot. It's a portable water filter. I'm always telling people this because I think this is an amazing thing. And I know one of the things that really led to me waking up, because there were many steps, but one of the things that really got me thinking about things is, I would look at videos of children in Indian, African, third world countries and see that they were just, sick and knowing that, their water was contaminated, thinking, oh, that probably has a huge, it's a huge reason as to why they have all these diseases and stuff. They can't, not only can't drink the water, but you also have to be able to clean yourself, right? You have to have good hygiene to be able to thrive and be healthy. So, he invented this machine called the slingshot. And basically what you do is you take anything that has water in it and you pour inside, and it automatically distills. So it vaporizes the water, and then it catches it at the top, and then it automatically turns it into purified drinkable water. You can take a cup of sewage water and just dump it in, and then it will come out the other side as clean, purified water, right?
Wow.
It's not treated, because not like the water that we have. It's basically treated, it goes out, treated, and then it comes back to us. But it's distilled. So, it's amazing. So I was like, oh my God, he can take this machine, he can put it in Africa and India, he can make a huge version of it, and this would totally cure, the water contamination. And then I saw him on an interview, and he was talking about he had trouble getting it into countries. And I was just because the government didn't want it in their country, and I'm like, how do you deny people that? How do you deny people that right to have clean water? Our bodies are I've heard anywhere from 75 to 80% water. It's something that we need to live and survive. So to me, I'm like, well, if somebody has actually, because before that, I was under the impression that's just the way things are. There's no solution to this. You know, we haven't had the technology to come up with stuff like this before. It just doesn't exist. But when it does, you know, those will be the first people to get it because they need it. And I'm just like, well, if you're denying people access to this, then it's murder.
Yeah.
No, it's murder. And somebody's purposely keeping these people from having basic essentials like fucking clean water. It just made me so angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's murder. It's murder. And then, you know, then I start looking into who would want to do this and follow the trail, you know.
Yeah, Bill Gates, we're looking at you. No, who would want to do this? He does.
Apples in clean water. They need robotic mosquitoes that inject them with vaccines.
Yeah, he wants to put them in drones. Did you hear that? He wants to have drone planes that can just spray vaccines on people. Yeah. I know. Let's have a thought about that for a minute.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was on Vax Truth. They had an article about it, and he's investing into this plan to use drones, and they'll just kind of like let it just fall on you, I guess, you know. Like, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Kind of like the chemtrails, just like let's let them drop on people, and they'll be vaccinated. So he's a lovely individual, and that's what he has to plan. But the whole water thing, I mean, we could do a whole episode on that because have you seen the movie Flow? Flow?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. There's been a couple of documentaries on water. I think I saw another one, but it wasn't Flow.
Yeah, I've seen, I think, 2 documentaries on it, and one was about the Flow. Flow is about how all these places that are using water. I mean, water is actually more expensive than oil, and you can because this purified water, and so it's essentially like Coca-Cola and Nestle are just buying up all.
I'm sorry. I remember that. Yes. Sorry. Tell our audience. Sorry.
They're buying up all of the water plants, or they're going to places where water is actually free. It's free and it's coming straight from a spring, so it's already been purified. It's naturally purified from this because you get it straight from the source. So it's coming out of the earth and then straight into your bottle. Well, people can access these. There's places like springs all over, and so they're tapping into all of the springs and just sucking out all the water and monopolizing it and then selling it for their own products. And so they're essentially like Pepsi.
How do you do that? I mean, how are there not laws to like stop doing that? That's just insane. And they're fracking too. The fracking is messing up the water table. Maybe yeah. I mean, it's
do shows on because there's a whole big. I think there was another one called Blue Gold, and it essentially how they don't.
I saw.
Yeah, and even Jesse Ventura did an episode about it on his conspiracy theory show. He did about how they don't have any regulations for the bottled water. They can just sell it, and it can just come straight from the tap. There's actually more regulations for municipal filtration systems than there are for people buying bottled water. So it's really hard to know. I mean, so it's a big racket essentially. It's anyone could say that they have a bottled water company. You could get your own bottles. You could just go up to your tap and say it's filtered water. Yeah, it's filtered because all tap water is filtered. And so, you know, it still has fluoride in it because usually they charge you to fluoridate your water. So the whole thing is a racket, and the whole thing about hemp out of the hands of the people is another racket, and it's just, and medicinally, you know, it's, I don't know if you heard this. There was a local guy here in Los Angeles area, and you guys can look it up on Facebook. It's called Jason and Jaden's Journey. Jason and Jaden's Journey, and Jason is the dad, and he is taking care of his son who has a rare disease called Dravet syndrome. And Dravet, I guess, is it presents as with seizures and autistic behavior. And he was treating his son. They've basically gone through a whole, you know, medical nightmare of trying all these different drugs and all these things, and his son kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then so now they're using medical marijuana to treat his son's seizure disorder. And it's finally starting to help him. And then he tells one of his neighbors about it. He's like, so excited. He said that it was weird because he tells his neighbor, like, with pride, like, oh, I'm doing this for my son, and, you know, and isn't it great that he's getting better? And that motherfucker called CPS on him. And they got it. I know, and they got him out and went to his house, and so the whole thing is a sham. The water thing is a sham. Withholding this as treatment for people is a sham. And because it's stigmatized, you know, that neighbor probably didn't know any better. They were just ignorant and thought...
Yeah, he thought he was doing good. Oh, I'm going to save my neighbor from poisoning his kid with that terrible marijuana.
Right.
You know.
So that's ridiculous. I mean, the guy said it really hurt his feelings, for one, and then he had to, of course, get a lawyer and do all that because he has to make sure that they understand that he's doing this within the law. He's not breaking any laws. He's not doing anything harmful to his son. I mean, just think about that for a second. How they've got him on all these pharmaceuticals. They've got him on all these things that have known side effects that cause anything from blindness to death to paralysis to, you know, psychosis.
Million times worse than, yeah.
And you have someone with a neurological disorder because it relates to, you know, epilepsy and seizures and autism. So it's neurologically related, and they want him on all these drugs that cause psychotic behavior. So you're taking someone with a neurological disorder, you're giving them a drug that might cause them more neurological problems. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to deny them access to a plant that's all natural, that has minimal side effects. I mean,
what are the side effects of weed? Do you know?
Craving Cheetos, I think.
And like a calmness, no violence tendencies. You know,
thinking.
Creates a thoughts, right?
I think thinking that Adam Sandler's hilarious. Like that's
like listening to reggae. I think those are like the
thinking that you're a Rastafarian or something, somehow thinking that you might be connected to that. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. It's just fucking ridiculous. You know, it's just another example of how they're using us against each other. You know what I mean? Like it's like we talk about people that the so-called people, the powers that be that run the world, but it's like, you know, they're really using us again. They're pitting us against each other. You know, in this case with the guy calling the neighbor on his CPS. I mean, the CPS on his neighbor. This guy's probably thinking that he's doing a noble thing because he's just trying to, you know, thinking he's saving this kid from any further harm. But because he's so ignorant,
right?
He's actually, you know, part of the problem, not the solution. So.
Yeah, and he's going to cause it. I mean, if they are successful in taking it away from him, he's going to cause that kid more harm. Yeah. And and then not only because he's going to be taking away this one medicine that's actually helping him, but it could even take away his dad or take away his loved ones. And this system, again, a whole nother truth to talk because. We could go into the water thing, we could go into the energy thing, we could go into the, so when we start talking about hemp and the sort of restriction of it, the restriction of cannabis and the many uses that it has, it brings up all these other thoughts because that's how useful it is, that it can be used medicinally, it can be used to replace, energy sources and oil and all these kinds of things.
And make textiles for clothes. I mean, that covers a broad spectrum of things that can be done with hemp.
Right, and it's a beneficial to eat. Like you said, that you can eat the hemp seeds, and it has a lot of omegas, and it's protein, and it's a plant-based protein. So it has many benefits to it. And so we're going to be talking to
Raw journalist.
The Raw journalist. He's
Raw journalist. I'll call him out Raw J for today. Raw J.
Yeah, so Raw J he's an alternative journalist or he's an independent journalist on YouTube. And that's how we found him because
I'm sorry, I grew up. You can go on. Yeah.
No, I was going to say he's working on a project involving teaching people how to use hemp for their lawns and things like that, like various different uses for it, and in where he is locally in Baltimore. So we're going to talk to him about that, and he knows a lot about it. And he knows a lot about a lot of things. So.
Yeah, And he's hoping to expand it. I think he wants to tour and go around too, because with the state that the economy is in too, this will solve everything. Not to exaggerate, but it really, really will. It can provide, production of hemp and the things that it can produce. It will lead to so many jobs for people, and it would enrich our economy, and we can import stuff, and we don't have to really be dependent on anything. So, it's really, really wonderful to see that he's doing something like this.
It really, it is. It's good to see somebody who's big on solutions. He's also a big proponent of alkaline water, and he likes, so he has a lot of solutions. He knows he's awake. He knows what's going on, but he wants to teach people or give people an idea that they aren't helpless.
Yeah.
And they can actually do something about it. And
that's very important too, because I think once you kind of start going down the rabbit holes and you start doing a lot of research and stuff, you kind of, first, I know for me, I felt like, I was like, damn, there's no hope, or,
right.
But, you kind of get that feeling of helplessness, and you're like, why do I know? Why did I take the red pill? Why?
Right, exactly.
But it's great too. But at the end of the day, you really find that knowing all this information actually leaves you empowered, and I think it's important.
Right.
People out there that are emphasizing that, because I think, like you said, there are people that like to talk about the problems, but they don't really offer solutions, and it leads to a lot of fear mongering, whether it's consciously or unconsciously being done.
Absolutely, yeah. And you don't want to be one of those people that's fans of Anderson Cooper. We don't want to be one of those people out there, because that's what you get when you don't take the red pill. You watch Anderson Cooper.
Oh God!
So, and you think that what he has to say is valid. So I just threw that dig at you. We're hating on Anderson Cooper this week.
Anderson Cooper, throw punches at him,
just for fun,
Yeah.
Just to get it out there, because we are solution oriented. So, huh?
I'm like, it is fun, it is.
Yeah, just to kind of get at, because every once in a while it's okay to get mad. It's okay to have frustration, and express that. I don't like that whole other side of it that acts like, well, if you just think positively, then everything's going to be okay. So let's not talk about these things because it's all so ugly. We're better off not to know, because then it causes us to have negative thoughts. I don't believe in that either. I think that's another extreme, It's like you don't want to go to either extremes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, that's annoying too, you're right. Just meditate and sit in a circle and everything will be okay. Oh, hell no.
Right, that's how we get into this mess in the first place.
Exactly.
Because then, when
you pay attention, or people are avoiding it,
Right, everything will work out it'll be fine. No, you really need to do something. You need to actually, get off the couch and, start learning about these things, learn about your history, learn, about the many uses of hemp. Understand that. It's not going to work itself out.
Yeah.
Be active.
It'll work itself out, but you have to do something to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be proactive as well. So you can't just sing kumbaya.
Yeah, so the raw journalist, he's good at that because he tells you the truth. I like his channel is called Lied Too Bad, because we have been lied too bad. It's funny that way. I like that. Yeah. He used to have on his profile picture. He used to have the picture of Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
That movie, but I know that scene.
Oh, it's a famous scene.
You can handle the truth.
I'm going to play a clip during the break because that's of that scene, just that part where he's like, "You can't handle the truth."
It's true that some people, I don't know, that
people can't. Yeah.
You tell it to them and they either get offended or they get scared or they just they say they want the truth, but they really don't.
No, they
can't handle it. They can't handle it. Some people want to be lied to bad,
They do, yeah. But we have been lied to bad, and I like the name, of his YouTube channel. And he doesn't, he doesn't sort of, I guess, hold anything back. He's raw, I guess. It's a good word for it, and tells you the truth. But then
a very, very tough love approach.
Right. a tough love approach, but then definitely wants to come up with solutions. Doesn't just leave people high and dry. Yeah. It's like, well, I have ideas for how we can actually improve our economy, how we can improve our lives, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, and we hope that we can do that too on our show. So we're glad to have him on.
Yeah, definitely. We need to take a break, I think.
I think we do too. Yeah, we are going to talk. Thanks for listening. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to be interviewing the Raw journalist.
All right.
All right, see you in a bit.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Hello, thanks for having me on your radio. Even though we're not from a famous rock and roll band, if we were, even though we sound a little like we are, we'd definitely wear a Conspiracy Realist t-shirt, because they're gear, aren't they? Oh yeah, they're really gear. I want to write a song about them. Conspiracy Realist t-shirts at truthatease.com. I gotta think of the middle 8. Shop.truthatease.com. What does that mean? It's the internet. What's that? I don't know. It's a net. It's between things. Shop.truthatease.com. What's that? It's where you get Conspiracy Realist t-shirts. Oh, gear.
What's good, people? It's your boy, the Raw Journalist, man. The First Amendment has been suspended, huh? Who says so? The corporations? Yo, it's in your face blatantly. It's in our face, yo, blatantly, yo. The truth is, you're the weakest link. Yo, BP Oil really just say, look, we don't want y'all coming nowhere close. Yeah, we did this on purpose. How many times you heard about all the banks we just bailed out that they poured 90% of their stocks out of BP Oil 2 days before this happened? How many Americans know that? Sound like the same shit that happened in 9/11. The put-up options. They already knew that shit was going down. So this economy crunch, then they going to give all our money to the banks. Then the banks do what they want to do because it's a deregulated state. So the cost of the bailout was $37 trillion. Then they hit us in the head with the war every month. That's another $10 billion, $20 billion a month. Then they bust us in the head with the BP oil explosion that they set up by Halliburton. Yo, this shit is crazy, yo. I mean, they're destroying our planet, raping all the resources for their profit while they keep getting rich. Now they telling reporters and shit they can't even go there or they get arrested or get a fine. Really? Who is in power here? That's what I be trying to tell you. Republicans and Democrats are Pepsi and Coke, yo. This is our country, yo. We the people. That's why all our founding fathers was like, yo, if y'all let these fucking international banks take over, it's going to be a wrap. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, even though he was Masons and all that shit, they knew. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln didn't get killed because he freed no fucking slaves. That's some bullshit. He got killed because he created his own money called greenbacks. Greenbacks. And it wasn't, and the Rothschilds couldn't put interest on that shit, man. They couldn't tax them. And when they caught John Wilkes Booth, this was on the History Channel. John Wilkes Booth said the hit was ordered by the Vatican. Huh? Come on, yo. Now we understand about the Vatican is Illuminati. They Satan worshippers and all that shit. Yeah. The Vatican, the Pope, all of them. Just Wikipedia, the banker's Vatican banker, Roberto Calvi. They poisoned, in 1973, the Vatican poisoned Pope John Paul I, the smiling Pope, and the one that came after him in 33 days. And that got exposed through Billy Meyer from Smith's Rucci, Switzerland. Yeah. Yo. And some shit I just found out even more. We already know that, you know, they control our media. But my mother hit me in the head today because she conscious too. She said, you know, Anderson Cooper, like his people's got guap. His people's, you know, they heirs, they billionaires. I said, Anderson Cooper, hell no, you got him mixed up with somebody. She said, no, his mother is a real, like a famous designer, clothes designer. So I Wikipedia him, Kind of find out his mother is Gloria Vanderbilt. Gloria Vanderbilt. And he's the great-great-grandson of Cornelius Vanderbilt. One of the, the shipping heirs. One of the richest families in America. How about that? So it's just to let you know how all these top elite families are all in everything. In Congress, politics, the media, sports, Hollywood. They got it, and all of them rich, While everybody losing their houses from the bankers tricking them and shit through this shit called the Black Laws Dictionary. This is what the banks go by. So this is how they keep stealing your house, because Webster Dictionary and this dictionary that the bankers use is not the same. So they already, when you fill out the contract, they already rigging you. Give them a 1099 OID, accept it for value, that motherfucker, with your birth certificate. Yeah, that's some real shit too. They don't want you to know about. Really, Anderson Cooper, Bill O'Reilly. A couple years ago, he supposed to got fired for sexual harassment on a job. It's like his third time doing it. Like, come on, man. And I'm nobody. I graduated from Johns Hopkins for digital media, computer animation, video editing. I do all that shit. You feel me? But for real, fuck that shit. I paid just for the name, All that got college and school, that shit is bullshit. They not teaching us the truth about nothing, Where does free energy technology at? Come on, This BP oil spill, they've been lying about how much gas or oil been coming out of the pipes. 5,000. First it was, 10,000. Now they talking about it's the 2 to 4 million gallons of gas oil released in our ocean, Then they telling you that you can't even stand on your fucking land that our peoples fought for and record what you doing to our fucking planet and our animals. Because you can do that because you got money and you fucking got the government in your pocket. How long, America? America, you've been raped, you've been fucked by your peoples that you supposed to look out for. The people of America vote for. November, that's all they worry about is November. So the bankers can see who they gonna put money behind, BP oil ain't talking about this methane gas bubble that's at the bottom of the Gulf that's about to burst. Everybody else talking about it. Richard Hoagland. Yeah, Richard Hoagland. Real deep dude worked for NASA. He the one exposed the pyramids and the Sphinx that was on Mars. They don't want to go there. They don't want to go there. That's sure, Joe. Go get that. They don't want to go there. Like I said, America, they did a good job by divide and conquer through the races. While they stole everything. If you're not an elite, if you're not a billionaire, trillionaire, you're not accepted. That's why the Masons and shit accepting everybody now. They want you to come right down, drag down too. That your reign is over. The light is coming. We're gonna treat you like they did in the medieval days when they found out they off with your head. Had the people, y'all like entertainment? Okay, we gonna be entertainment. Y'all gonna be in the spotlight with the guillotine, how they used to do it. And there ain't gonna be no escaping through back walls, helping through the churches in the Vatican, helping you out through unknown. We gonna get all that shit sealed. None of that. It's a wrap. Like I said, man, just letting us know who really runs our country, man. Really. Fuck how many times you vote and who you vote for. I got rock with me, Alright. Shit just a joke, man. It's a shit. Come on up, Rock. It's your boy, the Ron Journalist, man. Who you putting on? Love, peace, and happiness, man. It's time. What's up, people? When it's going down? But you know, right now we being fucked, yo. You just suspend that. Oh yeah, Hillary Clinton trying to take away the guns with this UN treaty.
I was on holiday with Sir Lawrence Olivier. We had decided that 9/11 was an intelligence operation. We'd all known about JFK. He had so many mistresses. The CIA shot him. Castro could never have done it. It was clear. We had become realists, conspiracy realists. How would we let everyone know was the question. We decided to buy T-shirts that told the contents of our hearts and minds to the world. We went to shop.truthattees.com. Even though the internet hadn't been invented at the time, we went to shop.truthattees.com. There we purchased Conspiracy Realist T-shirts, one of a kind, sold only at shop.truthattees.com. 100% cotton in men's and women's fitted sizes. I won't tell you which one I'm wearing.
Graduating with a master's in multimedia from Johns Hopkins University, the Raw Journalist is an independent journalist and multimedia specialist who produces YouTube video commentaries on social and environmental issues. He has recently founded an organization called Growing Green Environment with Hemp, which focuses on creating green jobs, ways to create unlimited sustainable green energy fueled by hemp, sustainable income, and safe green communities. We'd like to welcome the Raw Journalist to the show. Welcome, Rajay. We're just going to call you Rajay.
Yeah, hey, Rajay. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
to be on the show.
We like your YouTube channel, Lied Too Bad. Isn't that what it's called?
Yes, ma'am.
Lied Too Bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You do some good research and some good journalistic reporting. So how did you get started in that? What was your awakening process to start going down the rabbit hole and understanding these things that you do?
Well, I was, my parents, is very conscious. They very like Afrocentric people, and my family is more, but I'm not more. I claim no relation. I just, picked up the information, and I was just privileged to go against the grain and, find out other things. And my father always told me, learn a little bit about everything, and that always stuck with me.
Yeah, I had a similar thing. My dad was kind of like that too. He used to say, he used to tell me about the false right-left paradigm, Democratic Republicans. He goes, don't go for that. It's like you look at the person as who they are as an individual. Don't, follow the label. And I remember that. Yeah, and that was kind of mind-blowing. So how did you start, what made you want to start making the YouTube videos? And when did you do that?
Well, at first, me and my friend, I'm also a videographer, like you said, I got my multimedia degree. So, I'm working on a documentary called The Monopoly. But me and my friends, from 2005 all the way up to now, we was just doing a lot of research on this, and we came up with a website that we was going to do. It was going to be called Lied Too Bad. And we was going to call it Raw Journalism. But he had moved, and, certain people don't have the same desires as you. Certain people are fear or scared or something might happen to them. And I'm just like, he just told me go ahead and run with it, and I did it.
Well, I've certainly enjoyed watching your videos, and I've learned a lot from you. And one thing that you talk about a lot is you refer to the Zionist Jews frequently. And I know that, I understand what you're talking about, but I don't know that everybody does. And so can you tell our audience who those people are and why you're being specific to make sure that you classify, you're not talking about all Jews, you're talking about a specific group, and who are those people?
Right, well, first and foremost, I'm not anti-Semitic. The definition of Semitic is Afro-Asiatic. I am Afro-Asiatic, so therefore I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm anti-Zionism. Zionists are from the Khazar, bloodline, who happens to be Genghis Khan, during the Turkish region, during the early, centuries, before. The Zionists are not Jews. They claim to be Jew. It's like a front, and pretty much the Zionists say and totally feel, if you're not a Zionist or you're not a part of their blood, then we are considered all slaves to them, according to God and, their beliefs. And it's quite, it's quite, deliberate, because we can see it how it's happening in the world,
Right.
They just do what they want to do.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go on. You were going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, definitely, like, what do you think about, you know, the state of Israel and how that's treating the Palestinians? I mean, it's essentially, I would say, similar to what in America happened to the Native Americans, wouldn't you?
It's the same thing that happened to all indigenous peoples all around the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of a spiritual thing because, you know, these people, you know, indigenous people that I'm talking about, you know, they know knowledge of nature, so therefore, you know, you can see tribal dances and stuff, but, you know, you see the Indians and the Africans and, you know, the indigenous people in Australia, but all, you know, with fires and stuff like that, you know, tribal dances and gatherings, that stimulates the planet in a good way. And the people that's in control, like I say, Zionist Club of Rome and stuff, they have the sacred knowledge that they have been stolen, you know, throughout centuries and, you know, throughout different cultures that they have killed and destroyed. And, you know, as you get older, you start to see, like, the truth has been coming through rocks, you know, bodies, blood, sweat, and tears. Like, the truth, this flower, it just keep growing, and it's still here to this day. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. You're talking about like natural frequencies and like the energy pulse of the universe, right? Like, yeah, because someone just recently told me this. She said that the Zionists or whatever you want to call them, the Templars or whoever these ancient people were, had this knowledge about, you know, our frequencies and sort of the power of all of this. And then this is all kind of, we've been indoctrinated to forget about that and forget about, you know, what we have as, I guess, our natural instincts or something, you know. And,
but you can, but excuse me for like cutting you off, but you can see it today. Like when other people from different countries come to America, it's like, don't worry about your culture no more. Your culture is, you know, BS or what you was doing, and like, you know, don't pick fruit out in the park. You gonna look strange doing that. You know, go to the market and buy GMO food. You know, it's like when other you know, when other ethnic people come here, it's like they forget about their culture and their background. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like Mexicans or, you know, Hispanics or whatever, you know, name they want to give, you know, people in Mexico and South America, because they kept their culture. You know what I mean? They still celebrate that, and they don't like that. It's funny.
You know what? What do you think about the fact? Because I hear people say, "Oh, America's curse we have was coming to them," and you know, I think a few shows ago we were talking about like how this whole like wiping out, genociding indigenous people has basically gone on around the world, and it's still going on to this day in different countries. So it's just like, do you think that, you know, America's any different in the way that it has genocided people, or, you know, or is it the same thing? And if, you know, is it worth leaving? Because I've heard some people say, well, I need to leave this country too because it's cursed because of what's gone on here. You know, it's a bad place. But to me, it doesn't really seem like it's. I mean, where are we going to go? Because it's happened everywhere. So, what do you think about America being cursed?
There's no such thing as a curse. It's like, you know, when you outside and you cross a pole or cut a pole, like, oh, you gonna, like, come on, like, you gonna believe in God or you gonna believe in this man-made superstition or this man-made pole that they built? It's crazy. And, you know, the curse, what curse? You feel me? We cursing ourselves by allowing this every day. People allow it, but we so materialized and materialistic, you know, the new iPhone 10 and 150-inch flat screen, you know, and who Britney Spears and who Rihanna having sex with, you feel me?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's more important. And, you know, you have these God-fearing people, and, you know, Muslims, Jews, and Christians, but nobody's saying nothing about the Holocaust going on in Palestine. Yeah. Nobody's saying nothing about the millions of kids that's being innocently slaughtered, you know, by United States soldiers with these assault rifles, you know, that they having this ban or want to have a ban on, or, you know, the monies that's being funded to support these wars. You know, it's just, you know, it's like, what curse? It's like we allow it. It's more like karma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, getting down to that too. What do you think about the Obama administration and their policies?
Oh man, come on.
I
I mean, first and foremost, I would like to tell everybody, America has always been a corporation since it was founded, and since King James of the Bible, King James, first charter of Virginia, 1606, clearly gives sovereign rights all to future kings and queens. So, who is the future queen right now? We have Queen Elizabeth. King James was working for Queen Isabella. And Shakespeare, they started the colonization of slavery, and Shakespeare started English. He created English. You can look it up, but they never teach you this in school. And then the Act of 1871 makes Washington, D.C. a 10-mile radius of a private corporation. And Washington, D.C. goes by something called the Lux Fori Constitution, which bears no resemblance to United States Constitution. And then you have the Federal Reserve Bill of 1913. You know, when the Federal Reserve and the IRS, privately, is privately owned by these same, 12 banking families. And it's the same games caused by the same people for all these years. All the wars, the Spanish-American War, Teddy Roosevelt, all of them was paid off. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same game, but it happens every different decade, so people tend to forget. And they just keep doing and recycling the same tactics.
So what do you think that what do you think about the fact that they basically put a brown face on their policies this time by having Obama as the president?
Because on the real, it's nothing racial, because it's just the truth. White folks wasn't going to have another year of Republicans. You know what I'm saying? So for them to preside to the black folks, they said, look, we're going to get Obama in here. And it's just a black face, but like you said, he's a Muppet. He's on the strings. We know big corporation is running him, behind doors. Just look at all the stuff he just okaying. And that's what we were talking about. They okaying the drilling in the Arctic, right? Which is like the last source of fresh water that we have on the planet. And then they got this Keystone pipeline that they are destroying acres of land. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny that the people where they doing these keystones are out holding billboards. Why are they not arresting these domestic terrorist politicians that have sold them out to big corporation? And these are the same people that put their hand on the Bible and swore and to protect the Constitution. That's what we supposed to hold them accountable for, but we don't. We don't hold nobody accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad too. I just think because Obama does, it happens to be a person of color or black man, whatever you want to say.
It don't matter.
Well, no, I'm saying I think that there are a lot of people of color because of that. They're blind to a lot of his actions.
But see, that's the whole. Excuse me, V. That's the whole thing, V. He's doing the same thing as Bush doing, but now when we do it, it's going to be like, oh, that's racist.
Yeah, so
it's just.
If you hold them accountable, it's racist, right?
Right, and it's funny because...
Or you're a sellout if you're a black person, sorry.
But the people that's in control already know that they are master occultists. They understand the stars. They understand, nature. But religion will tell you that's blasphemy. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. So it's like when we are born, the box is already made for us. You got to go to school. You got to get a good education. You got to think this way. You're going to work hard. You're going to be in debt to these bankers. Because when you go to school, you're going to be in debt to them with the credit cards that they print out of thin air. Then you're going to get out of school in debt. Then you got to get a job. Then you want to get a car. You're going to want to get a house. You're going to be in debt all your life. That's the American dream. Obama, nobody's saying nothing about Obama selling the assault rifles, state-of-the-art assault rifles to Mexican drug cartels. Why isn't this huge?
Yeah.
Like him and Eric Holder. What is going on? That is high treason.
It is, and then, they should be impeached for that, because it was 300 deaths with the guns that they sold, and an American citizen. I don't know how you ignore that.
I know how you ignore it. I know how you ignore it. American Idol.
Yeah.
That's how you ignore it. Right.
Yeah.
And Americans are so gullible, and it's so funny that you have Americans waving flags, and, they celebrate the 4th of July, and they tell you to go back to your country, and... It's just the funniest. Right. And it's like me being detached out of the matrix. It's crazy because you can manipulate people so easy once you understand how people operate and think. There's only 26 different personalities around the planet. Everybody had the same personality, just mixed up.
With other things. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, go on. You go on. You go on.
But it's just been studies and tests that they've been doing forever. Just like right now, what are we here for? We here about environment safety. We all know the trees gives us oxygen, so why are we cutting them down?
Yeah.
And this is the question: if we cutting the trees down, can anybody tell me how much oxygen do we need to survive on the planet? And where's the oxygen level at right now on the planet? And then when you research that and you find that out, then you'll figure out that we are in a state of emergency for real.
Yeah.
But, they already got the underground bases for them.
yeah, I know. Wow, yeah,
Pay
it's true.
for with your money that you working hard for. FICA is Queen Elizabeth. If you look up who FICA is, who take the most money at your paycheck. Because everything is going up but a paycheck. And people just keep allowing it. And they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Do you, first of all, do you think, as a black person, you think it's important to come out and point out the atrocities that Obama is doing? Because
But you know what? It's not even about me being a black person, because black isn't a color, white isn't a color. We only see in a 7-color spectrum on the rainbow, and the rainbow don't have black or white in it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just when we look at certain things, the angles and the sacred geometry of light being bent gives us these different colors and shades and neon colors. So, but besides that, I know what you're saying though.
This is my point. This is my point.
I know what you're saying though, B. But if police pull up on me, they're gonna say #1 black male. But I mean, it's just the truth. Well, like I said, man, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. If he's doing bad, then he's doing bad. Like, you gotta point that out. Bush the same way. It's like, go ahead.
But my thing is, because we've been so divided and conquered in so many ways, one of the ways that we have been divided and conquered is through race. Mm-hmm. And the thing that frustrates me is when I point out all these things that Obama is doing, especially to a lot of black people in my family and my friends, they just turned a blind eye. And I feel like if it was Bush that was doing this, then they would have already been on his ass. But because it's not Bush, because it's a black person, they make all kinds of bullshit excuses for the shit that he's doing, and it's just very frustrating. And it makes me also very sad, like the war in Libya, all these people are just being massacred, and it's okay because it's Obama doing it,
Right.
So as a black person, I think, too, for me coming out and saying something, maybe it might make other people think, because I also think because we've been so divided and conquered with race, that if a white person says it or a non-black person says it, people will automatically accuse them of being racist.
Being racist, right.
It's true, though, because there are a lot of white people that can't stand that are racist, and they can't stand the fact that their president is a black person. That's true, and it's like you don't want those people to win. You don't want those people to be right. But at the same time, you have to call it, if he's wrong, he's wrong. You have to say it, And as a black person, too, I'll get criticized for being a sellout. I've been called all kind of names, It's very hurtful, but I have to say something. So that was my point. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's how it's set up, and they know how they set it up. You understand? It's like they already, it's what they call a crisis, oh man, it's called a crisis capitalism, meaning they caused the problems and they got the solution.
Like Hegelian dialectic, same thing?
Right, same exact thing. And, they already know what the reaction's going to be, and they sit and laughing at it up. Democrats and Republicans. In 1890, black folks was considered Republicans.
Yeah.
So what changed? Why is these same two parties, Like I said, it's a joke. Obama signed the NDAA bill, National Defense Authorization Act. That's another act of high treason.
Yeah.
But all these same military dudes who wave the flag, fighting for their country, don't know shit. Excuse my French.
It's okay. We curse on here. It's fine. Yeah.
They don't know, shit about, the Bill of Rights. They don't know nothing because they are toy soldiers, what we call them on the streets. You just so happy to work for this dude. He tell you anything and you gonna go out and do it. And they toy soldiers. That's why they over there killing themselves. Like, come on, man. They weak-minded people, man. Like, just think about a soldier. Just through life of coming up. They like, oh yeah, you need to go and get disciplined. What do I need to get disciplined for?
Well, you know what, though, too, just in a little bit in defense of them, too, I think a lot of soldiers go in, either maybe they need to pay for college or they need the money, they're going into war because they've been brainwashed to believe that they're going in for a good cause.
Right.
And then they're also being experimented on with vaccines and being brainwashed and,
right.
you know.
And the funny part is, he's like, yo, we fighting for democracy, but I'll be like, yo, say your national anthem. It don't have democracy in it. This says republic. So you say your national anthem. Say your, what is the Francis Scott Key,
the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah, the Star Spangled. They say republic. They don't say democracy. If you look up the definition of democracy, it says ruled by the few, ruled by a few. If you look up republic, it says ruled by the people.
Right.
You know, it's just a joke. And these are so-called smart, educated people who talk this proper language and they talk proper etiquette. It's hilarious. And these are some of the stupidest people that I ever met.
Yeah, I get that too. I've heard people, just judge them, but we're constantly being divided and conquered. That's one of the things too. You know, people will shut off to people too. I've heard people even. I remember I dated this guy, and he would always make fun of Southern people. He thought they were, and he was a lawyer. And I'm like, he would make fun of Southern people. Oh, yeah, you know, Southern people, they're really stupid. I'm like, how do you, like, he wouldn't even listen really like to talk to them. I'm just like,
but
that's just crazy.
But you say he was a lawyer. The bar, look up the bar. Lawyers take an oath. Lawyers are not supposed to submit the truth to court. That's why they always, on big court cases, when they have something big, they don't present it to the court. Because it's all a corporation. America is a private corporation, privately owned by the Queen of England, who is the heir of the King of England, who happens to be King James. How can you find land when people was already living on it? America has always been a corrupt land. They didn't took land, they didn't stole it, they didn't massacre Indians. And I was on Twitter today talking to this girl. She was like, she said Obama isn't like Lincoln. And I'm like, Lincoln? Are you serious? Oh, he freed the slaves. And I'm like, he didn't free the slaves. The slaves was only released because the South would have won because they had free labor from slaves and up north didn't. So the Negroes up north wasn't going to fight no white man war. So they said, look, we're going to free all these niggas. It was a business move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't do it out the kindness of his heart.
No, that was a business move. And that's what's interesting too about the whole, you know, right, left, Republican versus Democrat thing is that what people don't understand is that, you know, it is a corporation. It's the same thing. Because then you have the Republicans who say, oh, well, we're pro-corporation. We're pro-free market. And then you have the Democrats who say, well, no, we're pro-big government. It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. But right. Also, you know, Lincoln's supposed to be this big humanitarian, but he had the most massive hanging in history. They had killed like 32 Indians all at one time, Sunni Indians. Hung them, took their land at one time. Just the dude supposed to free the slaves, really. Yeah. Listen, the 4 presidents that was assassinated because they was trying to move America into a gold standard. You had Lincoln with the greenbacks. And when John Wilkes Booth had got caught, he had said the hit was ordered from the Vatican. So I started researching on that. Then you had a person that was in the Vatican during that time named Charles Quinby. And he states that the hit was ordered on Lincoln. Also with John McKinley. James Garfield, the gold panic of 1867. You know what I'm saying? Even with John F. Kennedy. You know, you talk about the conspiracy theories of JFK, you never hear the real truth of none of these conspiracy theories. You don't hear, like I said, they're conspiracy facts. You don't hear about Executive Order 11110, where John F. Kennedy shut the Federal Reserve and the IRS down and started printing silver-backed currency, which was backed by silver. He shut the Jews, the Zionists, money down, and they killed them. And you don't hear about Dr. Peter Beater. If you Google Dr. Peter Beater, he was John F. Kennedy's best friend. If you just Wikipedia just him on just general knowledge and just see what this man was talking like, oh man, this is in the 60s. He was talking about the Rockefeller had underground bases where they cloning kids and they are human clones and all that. Like, what? Like,
wow.
Yeah, James McCloy. James McCloy was on the Warren Commission, and he was one of the top bankers in America during that time. But you don't hear about these names and the connections and how he was connected to Bush Sr. and all that, man. It's like people don't really know nothing about America.
No, the history is well hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And so, so when in your introduction, we talked about how you have interest in, or you're starting. Tell us again the project that you're working on, because you're actually working on solutions. And that's one of the things that we thought would be great to have you on, because you're talking about solutions for free energy and using hemp. And so tell us about your project.
Well, my project is called Going Green with Hemp. Well, Going Green for the environment for hemp. And it's pretty much, people say, this isn't a silver bullet. Well, it is a silver bullet for all solutions, because the legalization of hemp in every sovereign state in America, because every state is sovereign. And before I even go in, like I said, all these constitutional American flag waving police, people who say they love America, every state in America is sovereign. Therefore, no federal government has to say so to say or do whatever a state wants to do for its community and its people and residents of that state.
Right.
But see, Americans don't know that. And I stress anybody to get your state constitution and read it. It's only like 30 pages. People like to read that. Your state constitution, whatever state you live in, read it. And you will find out your power. And once you have your power, you don't ask for it, you take it. Now, back to my program that I have started up in Baltimore City is called Going Green for the Environment with Hemp. And we can create over 1 million jobs just in Maryland off of hemp biofuel, which will end the energy crisis. So there's no drilling in the Arctic destroying the fresh water, and they can't even stop, or if they have a spill like what happened in the Gulf, they wouldn't be able to stop that.
Right.
You know what I mean? The information is already out there. We already know that the fossil fuel or the oil of the planet is the blood of the planet, what's causing the earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? Sucking out all the oil out the planet could crack this planet in half. You know, and I know this, and I'm not even in school for that, so I know they know that. Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, come on, man, where are the smart people at? Or say they smart. But with the biofuel, we can, the state of Maryland can grow its own fuel to supply its own state. And every state can grow its own unlimited source of energy. And it's like you can, from the hemp herds, you can feed that to the cattle, so they don't have to eat the GMO foods no more. So now the cattle and the animals is going to have real nutritional food.
Wait, hold on. You can feed hemp to cattle?
Yeah.
Cattle to cow?
Yeah, everything.
I didn't know that.
Everything. Yes.
I didn't know it was edible like that. They just took the leaves?
Birds.
The leaves and the stems?
Yes. Leaves and the stems can be made for medicine. Like I said,
what else? Name some other uses.
Plastic. We can make biodegradable plastic. Everything that we have plastic. I can make plastic for a toy company. You can make plastic for my Macintosh computers. April, you can make bioplastic for people who make hard drives, or you know what I'm saying.
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags. The 25-cent bags at the corner store. The cups. So when you do pollute, the planet can eat it. You know what I'm saying? It's not being burnt in the air and destroying the atmosphere, which these people already said, which is destroying the ozone. But once again, we are allowing this, and we don't have no other place to go. We can't go to Mars. We can't go to no other planet.
Yeah, right.
It's just real talk, though.
Yeah,
and they got something going on right now in South America. They got like 2 more legislations to go through, and they trying to destroy 10 million acres of rainforest to look for oil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is insane! Wow.
And the rainforest is 30% of the planet's oxygen. That's like just cutting our lung out of yourself.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Yeah. But this is like part of the whole panic that they're trying to, the widespread panic that they're trying to get us to believe in.
It's not a widespread panic. They're actually doing it.
But I mean, I'm talking about like the research of like Michael Rupert. I don't know if you're familiar with the.
Yeah, I know who Michael Rupert is, and Michael Rupert. I think he's a double agent, because he was just doing something the other day talking about there's no other source of energy other than oil. America is screwed. Like, huh?
Right.
You a CIA agent? Come on, man. It's all fear. It's all phony because check this out, April and MV. The only thing promised to you in life is what? Death.
Death. Okay. Okay. Like I don't know.
So why are you going to be scared to stand up and fight for your children or your nieces and nephews? We are allowing a rape. Look at there's no jobs. Like, where all the tax money going? Everybody working hard? But you telling me to work hard. You telling me don't sell drugs from the corner. Go get a job. Working $8 an hour. Yeah. And I'm making $700-800 a night or every 2 nights. Come on, man, cut it out. Right. Why I'm gonna do that? Oh, that's the right way to. Okay, but you don't even know how your financial system is created or ran. You don't know nothing about it. You can pull out a dollar bill or any type of money and show me where it says money. You will not see that. It says it's a legal tender. It's a promissory note. Yeah. That's why money is called currency. It's a frequency. We only believe in it. That's why it's real. The only real money is gold and silver. You just had a bunch of people in the South buying property with 30 pieces of silver. I don't care how much the house is. That's what's in your Constitution, but people don't know that. And they talk about these sovereigns or terrorists and stuff like that. On the bottom of your birth certificate, it clearly states what bank owns you. This is through America being a corporation of being indebted to bankers since 1933. That's why your name is all capitalized on everything that comes in your name, because you are a fictitious corporation.
Right, so you think that the peak oil crisis, or that people are saying is part of like trying to hide that hemp and cannabis and there's these other alternatives?
Absolutely. The first diesel engine was made to run off of hemp. You know,
then Ford made that a car, right? He made that car out of hemp. He made the body out of hemp, and it was it was partly hemp. It was made of other types of.
It was made from hemp, hemp ethanol, wheat, and sisal, and it all grow. And he was just extracting the oil from it and made a plastic. They made another car made from hemp, and it was in 1986. They made another Ford car made from hemp. You know, they took it off the market. But, you know, the peak oil, we never needed peak oil, you know. And in my documentary, Illuminopoly, I'm breaking down the first chapter of Illuminopoly. Is called Illuminopoly Sequestered Technology, and I'm breaking down the real history of big oil. I'm having all your presidents since Lyndon Johnson down to today talking about peak oil, talking about gas prices going up, talking about, you know, we in a crisis. It's a game. You know, we had free energy since Nikola Tesla. We had free energy since, you know, Walter Russell. You know what I'm saying? We had free energy with Dr. John Searle. We have the technology. We have the means to end world hunger. You know, with hemp foods, we have the sources to end world poverty with building hemp houses, and with Hemp Creek, which is 100 times stronger than concrete or brick, which when water is in contact with Hemp Creek, it's feeding the brick, so therefore it's going to vitrify over years and turn into stone. And on some truth, just off the subject, I really think that's maybe how the pyramids was built, because, you know, if it was because once you make Hemp Creek, you can actually lift it up. It's real light, but once it's stacked, it vitrifies and turns to stone at over 50 years. So, I mean, it's just the thought that I just put out there, you know. But I mean, hemp wood is 300 times stronger than regular wood.
Wow.
I mean,
our founders used hemp. I mean, they said that Thomas Jefferson, all their sheets and everything was all made out of hemp back then.
The sails on the ships, the what do you call it? The ropes were hemp. Clothes, you can make clothes. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. You can make ice cream and milk and dairy products.
No, it's non-dairy. It's non-dairy.
Sorry, not non-dairy substitutes for dairy, right?
Right. It's super food. It's microcluster food for the body, which is it's giving you foods that you can't eat. You know, you can't get from, you know, eating meat, which is acidic, or drinking coffee and soda, which is acidic. You know, and the reason why I'm talking about acidic because people who have cancer and, you know, diabetes and these diseases and, you know, and always sick is because of their body is acidic, because of what they eat. You know, people, like I said, once again, people talk about God and, you know, they you know, they say it's fruits and vegetables, God's foods, but they eat fried foods and meat. And on the truth, on my religious beliefs, I'm an atheist. You feel me? And it's just funny to me when I talk to, you know, God-fearing people, how they don't have no respect for the planet, no respect for the future. And it's just like, wow. And I'm atheist, but I care more about the planet, more about people, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not atheist as far as what, you know, society in America thinks. I'm atheist as far as what my ancient ancestors was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always coming from an ancient side of this because, like I said, we have the cure for every disease known to man right now. We have the free energy devices and technology right now. We can end world poverty right now. Yeah. We can end all these games tomorrow. It's all a choice, but people want to work hard. People feel like you gotta work hard. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's true, and it's so frustrating because knowing this knowledge, do you have hope for humanity?
Yeah, I have hope for humanity. My daughter, my nieces and nephews. I mean, your children or, you know, your future children, your nieces and nephews. I mean, what are we really leaving for them?
Yeah,
I mean, for real, is us being smart and all these educated folks, what are we really leaving for our children? What, death? What, a fictitious death? A police state?
Yeah.
Like, really think about it. Look at all the movies coming out. Like, they got all, like, it's just going to be, like, robotic kids and robotic people, and you're going to have these little rogue, renegade children that's living underground under the sewers, and, like, come on, man. Why is we, like, what is going on? I thought people were smart.
Well, I guess that's what I asked you, but knowing the information, because it gets really frustrating sometimes, too, when you try and talk to people about some of the stuff you're talking to, but they shut off, you know, or they don't want to listen, or they want to call you like a conspiracy theorist, or you know, label you.
Oh,
so,
but you know what? I don't get that, because a person can't say conspiracy theorist to me because the information is out there. You know what? Like another thing my father always told me, he said a smart person will ask you where you get the information from. A dumb person will say, "Oh no, that's not real. I never heard that."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people that do that. You know what I'm saying?
And then guess what category they fit in? It's like it's no type of energy that I'm losing from that. I'm just here to enlighten you. I can drop some jewels on you, and then some people wake up right then and there. Then you got some people that wake up a couple months later and come back to you like, April, what was that you was talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you just got people who not, and they the people that's going to fall by the wayside because of the energy that they carry. You know, it's real, man. And like I said, you know, I meditate. I got my crystals and all that, and you know, I drink my alkaline water and I eat my hemp seed. And I'm telling you, I have energy all day. It's crazy.
Well,
It's remarkable how much we've been really lied to, you know, and it kind of hurts, you know what I'm saying? If anything, like, make me want to cry sometimes, how they destroying the planet and how real, you know, ignorance really is. Yeah. And I'm a street dude, you know what I mean? I was a D-boy for a long time, bust heads, I did all that. And when I was coming up, you know, we used to listen to Tupac. And Tupac was a good, you know, Tupac, Outkast, you know, back in the day, hip-hop was different genres of different types of hip-hop music. Everybody's on the same plane. When, you know, them Jews that took over the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not lying. This is all fact. And Tupac used to tell, you know, dudes in the hood, you know, on, in my own words, get the book, Behold the Pale Horse. You know, get the book, I Paid Hitler. Talking about, Zionist bankers had paid Hitler and put him in power. The rise of Hitler through Wall Street by Anthony Sutton. These are books that's like in the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? And Fitzdeason was a banker. Prescott Bush was a banker. George Bush's father. All of them funded Hitler, and they was all domestic terrorists, all arrested. But since they was all Freemasons, they never got the firing squad. You know, because I thought high treason is death. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and so since you brought up the music industry, you know, I just happened to be watching TV the other night, and there was Taylor Swift was on, and she had the number 13 written on her hand, and I thought, That's really bizarre, because I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I know you've talked about it in your videos and stuff. So what do you think happened to people like Tupac or Kurt Cobain or some of these people from the 60s who, you know, died? Do you think that those were...
You already know what happened.
No, we're trying to get you to talk about it.
But I'm just saying, it's all the same games. They all die from overdose in a hotel, or they fall in the pool, or it's suicide. It's the same 3 games. They've been doing the same games. It's just like how people ain't get it yet. And if this was CSI, this shit would be over with.
I was about to say that. It's true. It's true. People can like watch CSI and they
everybody they get everything in a happy hour.
Yeah. And then now they're just like,
and that's what I'm talking about. Like, how are these federal FBI agents and these U.S. Marshals and all these dudes who claim to be American, who love America, you feel what I'm saying? Who protecting America but allowing this though? But they will kick your door in for a bag of weed.
Right.
And shoot your dog, shoot your mother.
It's all indoctrination and divide and conquer too. Because I think too, when people, the culture of celebrity is very interesting too. Because I think that people that aren't celebrities, they look at celebrities and they say they see they have this glamorous life and stuff. And when they die of these things, they're kind of a little bit detached. Because I think that they don't really, that they just, you know, they blame the celebrity. Oh, you know, they didn't know what they had, or oh, you know, too bad. It's a shame that they, you know, that another one dies of a drug overdose. Oh well, kind of. Some people have this attitude. I think, oh well, that's what they get. They shouldn't have been living so large anyway, you know.
Right. And it's all poison. But like you said, Taylor Swift had the 13. The 13 represents the 13 vertebrae until it gets to your pineal gland, which is your third eye. But the negative aspect of it is the same way. Like I said, you got the yin and the yang, you got the female and the male energies. They both use it, and therefore they take the Egyptian knowledge and use it for negativity. Like if you see the eye of Ra, you'll be like, oh, that's the devil. But no, that actually represents the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? That the eye of God. We are all gods and goddesses through everything in existence comes through thought. Therefore, man thought it and created it. You understand? But that's a little too much for people. They can't grasp that. And once you understand ancient civilizations, they all talked about the same thing. Oh, he had a bird head. They just, you know, or he had a cat head. They just symbolizing these attributes to these, you know, with the animals into nature. These people ain't like praise, you know, a cat with a, you know, with a man's body. You know what I'm saying? They were just attributes of what they adapted to nature and how they can relate to the stars and stuff. But that was the miseducation that they put out, and they took the knowledge. You know, why would the oppressor teach his oppressed people their power? Because once you know your power, you're not going to ask for it. You're going to take it because it's yours. Yeah. And that's my whole purpose. And you know what I'm doing. I'm trying to enlighten people to know their power. You don't have to work hard. We can end all this. We can have something for our children. You know, this is our planet. Why do I have to pay $3,000 to go visit Egypt and the pyramids?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, you know, we got the fuel source. Why, you know, it's you know what I'm saying? Why do I have to pay to go to Europe? Why do I have to get a passport and all this to go to Europe? This is our planet. Why we just can't, you know, travel the planet? Why we just can't live our life?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and we have the means and the source right now. But people don't know because of the ignorance. And when people know that we have this technology and we have the resources to end all this, then it's going to change. Because go ahead.
But just getting back to my question before, I guess, is that the thing that gives you hope? Because you talk about being frustrated about people that see all of this in front of them and they're not doing crap about it, or they refuse to like do research themselves. But then you said, you know, you have having this knowledge that we have the power right now and the resources to actually fix all the problems that we have. Is that the thing that gives you hope for humanity?
The thing that gives me hope is people like you and me, and, you know, it's coming out, and people who's listening, and the people's on Facebook. You know, people are waking up. You know, we spread out, you know, all over the world. And, you know, if you put us together, it'll be probably 50%, 50-50. I know a lot of people that's religious and all religion that I came across in my, my last 10 years. And, you know, they came back to me and like, yo, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, You know, I tell them just go back to the origin of everything. When you go study all ancient cultures, you know, the Sumerians, the Egyptians, you know, the Akkadians, the Phoenicians, you know, you be like, wow, you know, how did they all have the same technology? How did they all build the pyramids and, you know, structures the same, you know, using the same sacred geometry dealing with life? And that's the flower of life. And that's a book. That's probably would be one of the greatest books anyone can read, you know, if you're conscious enough to, you know, get it. You know, it breaks down creation, you know, it's so simple. It's not hard at all, you know, and, you know, like we were saying, the Illuminati, 666, 666 is the creation of man, stored to this day. 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neurons creates, DNA. And in ancient times, they knew that. And when you break DNA down geometrically, it spells out Yahweh. Mm-hmm. And you know, geometry is a language. It's a math too. And what they call 666, they call it the DNA. They call it atom, ATOM.
Yeah, someone just recently told me that. She said that because they did know about, you know, our innate intelligence, the frequencies, the energetics of the universe. And so the 666 has been sort of put into the category of being satanic to subconsciously make us think that people are bad. Right, but see, it's going to keep you away from the knowledge. Just like rainbow. What do a rainbow represent today? Being gay.
Being gay.
Right, but that's going to keep a straight person to understand and researching what a rainbow does. What do a rainbow do to the planet? Nobody knows. Right. And this is the stuff that you see, and nobody questions it. See, I was that little kid that questioned everything. I was like Pinocchio. Why?
All right, well, we're just about out of time. Would you please tell our audience the name of your blog, and do you have a website or anything else you would like to promote before we let you go?
I just got my Facebook, The Raw Journalist, DA Raw Journalist. My Twitter, The Raw Journalist. You know, that's pretty much it. My YouTube, Lied Too Bad. You know, I was thinking about, at first, you know, real quick, I was doing Stick AM, and I was doing, like, you know, conferences with people. We was talking about a lot of stuff. A lot of people was asking me, can I start that back up? But it's just like I'm so active, you know, as far as what I'm doing. My documentary is going to come out probably the second week of February, which is called Illuminati, and it's sequestered technology. And my first chapter is going to be about big energy versus free energy in nature. And then my second part to that is going to be about, you know, the medical field and, you know, natural remedies. But, you know, it's time to expose these lies. There's too many lies.
Yeah, I know.
It's just time, you know. And it's just, I put that energy out there when I meditate, you know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate that, and we hope that people go and check out your YouTube channel, and we will certainly promote your film when it comes out. Will you send us?
I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick.
Okay.
To get banned, I already know YouTube is gonna take it down because it's going in, and the whole time of the documentary, I have the Zionist flag with the Nazi symbol in the middle. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's going to be real groundbreaking. It's going to have a lot of information. It's going to be very, very educational, very enlightening. Very.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to it. I hope they keep it long enough that we can watch it.
And now you got to send us a copy. You got to somehow.
Oh yeah. I'm going to do that. And when I do it, just download it off of YouTube for me, and everybody download it and pass it around.
All right. Well, we'll do that.
I appreciate y'all goddesses doing what y'all doing.
Well,
thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your
show. You've definitely turned us on to a lot of stuff, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you would watch your channel, and, like, I won't speak for April, but I will watch your channel, and I'll be like, let me look this up. I'm like, damn, he's right.
I know. Well, no, I did, too. So
I did that a lot with you and Alex Jones. Like, you guys would just say stuff. I was like, no, come on. I'm like, damn. You know?
No, I don't associate myself with Alex Jones. They never talk about solutions. Nobody. None of these David Icke, David Wilcox. nobody talks about the solutions because they all paid off. They are double agents.
I didn't mean to compare, but I compared just the fact that I would just, even when I was looking for stuff, I would watch certain things, and he has a lot of info and guests on his show, and then I would watch your video, and you would say a lot of stuff that would just seem so, like, unbelievable, but I would check it out. I would research it, and I'd find out that you were right, you know, so.
Yeah.
But I am glad that it's really awesome, too, to see somebody that's looking into solutions because, too, I think a lot of people find this information out and then they get, like, scared or they get depressed and they just kind of don't want to fight because they don't feel like they have a chance, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's really important, to with everything that's going on to talk about solutions and how we can beat this or thrive and how we can, you know.
Yeah. Because we are the real media now, because we're not the ones that aren't paid off. We're the ones that aren't working for the pharmaceutical industry or whatever. So, you know, people like the Raw Journalist and Virstyne and I. So, thanks again, and we hope people check out his YouTube channel is Lied Too Bad. Virstyne and I are going to take a quick break. We are Truth or Talk. You can find us at truthertease.com, our store shop.truthertease.com, and we'll be right back. But once again, thanks again so much.
Thank you, Rajay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been great to have you. Okay, we'll be right back, guys.
Hello. Everything I'm looking at seems crazy. The newspaper, the television, nothing's right. Nothing's telling me what's true. It's like I fell into a bucket of cream and kicked my legs until I became a mouse. What's that about? I'm a conspiracy realist, not a conspiracy theorist. I want a t-shirt that represents me. What? There's one that's available? Go to shop.truthertease.com, says the voice in my head. Shop.truthertease.com. It's not crazy. I'm not afraid to go on the internet and go to shop.truthertease.com. I'm not scared. I've taken out bowling balls that look like you. That's what I said. Straighten out. Get your conspiracy realist t-shirt. Don't make me come over there. You look good. You look good.
I'm in there, Robert.
All right, I'm going to read a statement, and afterward, turn it over to my attorney, Catherine Sass, for any questions you may have. Help! That's not the statement. For the past 20 years, my wife Evie and I have been the victims of criminal activities perpetrated by a small network of individuals who are out to destroy us personally, professionally, and financially. This network of individuals is manipulating the banking system and the criminal justice system for the purposes of sabotaging our credit and our credibility. 3 of these individuals are Hollywood lawyers and a business manager, all of whom I hired 20 years ago to handle my legal and business affairs. They are Alan Wattenmaker, my former estate planner, Warren Grant, my former business manager, and Lloyd Braun, my ex-attorney. These 3, along with a few others whose professional services I've engaged over the years, have conspired together to steal my property, my money, and with the aid of specific individuals at 2 major studios, Bruce Berman certainly being one, have gained access to my royalties revenue streams. These people have been able to do these things through the creation of a phony probate file, phony living trusts, secret bank accounts, fake loans, bogus corporations, smear campaigns, and false arrests of my wife and me. They have been aided and abetted in their schemes by the entertainment division of City National Bank's Roxbury branch in Beverly Hills. This particular branch is a major financial hub for the entire Hollywood industry, with the cooperation of certain individuals within City National's entertainment division. Business managers, lawyers, and agents have been able to misappropriate my assets, life insurance policy, and royalties through various client trust accounts and bogus loans taken out in my name without my knowledge. The president of the bank's estate planning division told my wife that the bank prefers dead actors because they don't get in the way. These former employees of mine have further reached out to their relatives and contacts in Santa Barbara County to take civil disputes and turn them into criminal complaints against us. To be clear, we did not defraud an innkeeper, and we did not trespass on our own property. Up until a year ago, Evie and I had never had any run-in with the law whatsoever. We are not criminals, nor are we fugitives from justice, nor are we crazy. We are simply artists and filmmakers who are being racketeered on.
What's good, people of the world? It's your boy, the Raw Journalist, Mike Rambo. I'm just commenting on my man Randy, who is exposing Illuminati, and so is so many other groups. You know, Bilderberg, Rothschilds, the Zionist Jews. Everything is coming out as we move into this new age of Aquarius, the age of truth, the age of a water bearer. Because if you are consciously asleep, water will wake you the fuck up. So this is what we're moving into. No, every rock shall be unturned. So it's just a string of so much shit that's going on that's over a lot of you dumb Americans' heads. Because you think you're smart and you're really not. So I'm going to try to help connect the dots for you dumb fucking sheeps out there who don't know no better and take news to be their own source of information because they don't want to, research their, shit for themselves. Now, the first thing my man Randy says is that he's not crazy. Of course you're not crazy. The people who got the microphones in your face don't know shit. And the attorney that you got next to you, I will get rid of her because she don't even believe you. Now you can look at her facial expressions and her mannerisms. Yeah, leave her the fuck alone too. You need to learn about your sovereignty and what's really going on. But anyway, you got Michael Jackson, who is talking about the Illuminati and how every music industry, all the top music business companies are all owned by Zionist Jews, all, Satanists. He even, he was talking about Jimmy Iovine, he was talking about Tommy Mottola. He was exposing what the fuck really going on in a mass crowd of people in New York City. Look this up. Michael Jackson killed by the Illuminati. Tupac, Biggie. But back to Mike. Mike also talk about how they lie, how they take your monies, how they swindle you out of your monies. How they how they kill stars and then leave drugs behind them and say, oh yeah, he was getting high. Because Michael Jackson exposed this, said that this is what they do. They kill you, then they throw drugs on. He named James Brown, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain. I mean, just to name a few. This is what Michael Jackson is saying out his mouth. Oh, he's crazy and he's delusional too, right? Or is this information over your fucking head? Once you start researching shit, it'll start making more fucking sense, you dumb fucking sheep that we call Americans. Now, you got Tupac, who was exposing this shit about Illuminati, killed the Illuminati. I mean, they did not want that. Biggie, how Puffy, Jay-Z, Kanye, all these niggas are in this shit. They show the symbols every day, which another thing, we are symbol illiterate. They are using ancient symbols stolen from ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Mayans. But once again, that's probably over your head too. You had people like John Todd, who was an Illuminati, who was saying, he's vanished, he disappeared off the face of the earth because he had a serious interview exposing the Illuminati and the Satanists. You feel me? Talking about how they played the music in a room in the basement. Like, they put your CD and play your music inside of a fucking pentagram, Lucifer pentagram, and play your music. They changed that over the 10 years. They have changed the frequency of music, the beat rates, all this shit affecting the subconscious. We don't know nothing about that. Once again, well, y'all don't know nothing about it. All this shit affects the subconscious and the spirit and the auras, the positive energies. And we also have Randy talking about the negative energies. And this is what Illuminati and our news media, who is also controlled by the Illuminati, puts out there for you dumb fucking Americans to eat it up, because television whole job is to think for you. You feel me? Then, Mel Gibson also exposed the Illuminati and how that was owned and controlled by the Zionist Jews. Then what happened to him? He had to pay out a lot of money. Now, I already know about Heath Ledger. He was one of my favorite actors, upcoming actors, and I did a lot of research on him before he even came out with this. And Heath Ledger was doing some secret work and some secret funding on trying to find out the bloodlines of the Illuminati and shit. And not many Americans know about Heath Ledger's father is supposed to be Laurence Olivier. Yeah. But see, this is dark secret shit that we don't know. How is that? Because all these sex orgies and shit that's going on, sexual satanic orgies. And just do some research on my man, what is his name? Paul Emanuel, who I think is his name, Emanuel. He did the movie Rosemary Baby. None of his movies was successful until after that, and he got that script through Andre LaVey, Devil Worshipper. Him and what's the other nigga name? Aleister Crowley. And the John Lennon thing with Aleister Crowley didn't want John Lennon didn't want Aleister Crowley in the Sgt. Pepper's album cover and shit like that. Like, yo, and what happened to John Lennon? But see, this type of information is over you dumb motherfuckers' heads, man. So I'm doing study on Heath Ledger. He was a sacrifice. So was my man David Carradine. If you do your research on him, the shit is just like real crazy. Like, they found him hung with a gun, and he hung him from his penis as well. Like, what the fuck is that about? Some more Illuminati Freemason shit, man. Ain't shit, G. They're like, it's just these damn aliens and shit, man. Tell them go home, E.T. Man, it's just a lot of shit, man. That's my nigga Toten. You feel me? But I'm just saying, this shit has always been. Y'all need to learn about the lower frequencies, the root chakra, the 7 chakras in the body. Like, all this shit is systematically set up, yo. All of it, yo. I mean, this man is not crazy. He just exposing the fucking truth, yo. Chris Penn. Y'all need to research Chris Penn, how he was found dead. They say he was found dead with drugs around him, but when they did the autopsy, there wasn't no drugs found in his system. Huh? You feel me? You got Pimp C, who exposed the Illuminati. You feel me? Talking about all them niggas was gay. Russell Simmons, Puffy, he exposed that. They found him dead in the hotel room with drugs around him. Same thing with James Brown. Same thing with all these stars that go against the grain. Even Jimi Hendrix was killed. You know, they say he died of, liquor on the lungs and OD'd off of drugs, but when they did the autopsy, none of that shit was proven. So who really killed Jimi Hendrix? He did a song with the Black Panthers, talking about let's run up in the White House and take this shit back. But like I said, this is information over your heads because y'all fucking stupid. Y'all don't know shit. This man is not delusional. He's just exposing the fucking truth. That's all. That you can't handle. But the truth will set you free. It's all research, man. That's it, man. It's all research. And he talking about Lloyd Braun. Lloyd Braun, the creator of Sopranos. Yeah, he know about organized crime. He know about the Jesuit black priests. He know about the Pope, the Vatican, the Rothschilds, the Zionist Jews. All these motherfuckers controlling every fucking thing, man. And people just waking up. So I ask you, and I say this to say that, like, what are you going to do? Like, this man is not crazy. When are we going to start waking up? All this money being blown, Democrat, Republican, Pepsi and Coke. Come on now. Who do they represent? They don't represent us. America would have been better off by now. Like I just said, man, just time y'all wake up, man. This shit is a big-ass game, a big-ass business, y'all. This man is telling the truth. Tupac even talked about Quincy Jones asking him to fuck him in his ass. Tupac exposed that. Tupac was talking about the Illuminati, too. You feel me? Will Smith's first movie was...
Hello, thanks for having me on your radio. Even though we're not from a famous rock and roll band, if we were, even though we sound a little like we are, we definitely wear a Conspiracy Realist t-shirt, because they're gear, aren't they? Oh yeah, they're really gear. I want to write a song about them. Conspiracy Realist t-shirt at truththtees.com. I gotta think of a little A. Shop.truththtees.com. What does that mean? It's the internet. What's that? I don't know. It's a net. It's a between thing. Shop.truththtees.com. What's that? So you get a Conspiracy Realist t-shirt. Hello. Yeah.
Hi, welcome back. You're listening to Truth or Talk. You can find us at truththertees.com or storeshop.truththertees.com. So, hey, Virstyne, we just interviewed the Raw journalist. The Raw journalist.
Raw J. I like to call him Raw J.
Raw J. We just interviewed Raw J. He had a lot to talk about. Now, I mean, we brought him in. We were going to talk about his his interest in hemp or his interest in teaching people how to use it. And he ended up talking about a lot of stuff.
Which is great. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No complaints.
Definitely.
We ended up having, like, it just ended up getting deeper into just all the things that we talk about here on the show that he knows about. You know, basically the truth.
Yeah.
He's definitely an independent journalist, part of the truther movement, or I guess that's what they call us, truthers. That's what we call ourselves. So, yeah. It was a good interview. I like talking. I'd been following his stuff on YouTube for a while. That was kind of like one of the first people I started listening to when I was going through the awakening.
Yeah, you actually introduced me to him. You're like, oh, check this dude out. And then I would listen to him, and then he would say stuff. I'm like, oh, come on, really? Please. And then I would look it up. I'm like, damn, he's right. Kind of like with Alex Jones and some other people that started. Because I think we were actually talking about this earlier, too. Like, you have some people that kind of get you started, and then once you really kind of start to inform yourself and do your own research, then you start to make your own decision and use your own discernment to kind of figure things out. But it's good to see somebody that, wants to kind of turn you on to some stuff. But I think in the end, it's healthy to actually, do your own research. He even encourages, I've heard him say, please do your own research. But you know what? It also makes me annoyed that people feel they have to say that. Because, I mean, wouldn't you want to do your own research anyway? Like, especially when you're hearing stuff that's just totally outside of the paradigm that you've been raised in, that you would think to just not believe everything that somebody tells you, that you would want to do some investigation on your own and figure things out yourself before you take someone's word at face value. But most people, it seems like they are, I don't know if say most, a lot of people don't either way. Either they just believe everything the mainstream media says, but a lot of people too come into this truth movement and they wanna be edgy or they wanna be different, and they just take a lot of what people say at face value too, and they don't do their own research that way too, because there are a lot of truthers too, like, they don't know everything, or they might have some wrong information as well. So you gotta really do your own due diligence and just figure out, what is true for you, your own truth, see how it fits into your life and your world.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you come from a place of your own experience, what makes sense to you, and trusting in your own gut and your instinct. But doing your own research is great, and it's great either way, because, like you say, because you shouldn't watch the raw journalist and believe everything he says, and you shouldn't watch. The same goes for I'm going to do it again. Anderson Cooper. Because I
say Anderson Cocksucker.
Oh, but that's true though. He is a gay man. But
yeah, but I don't have anything against gays. A lot of gays.
No, me neither. And so that doesn't bother me.
I don't know. Pooper just seems too much of a. It's not like harsh enough.
No, it's not.
Like, I want like a gritty name.
Yeah, he's such a jerk.
Yeah.
He's such a jerk, you guys. And he's not really, he's just sitting there and reading stuff, and then he's getting in people's face about, I don't know. I mean, he's just, we're so mad at him about this whole, because he's coming after the Sandy Hook conspiracy theorists and saying that this First Amendment is going too far, and it's just, no, you're going too far. So people should, if they watch any type of news program, should do their own research and do their own due diligence. And it's kind of sad in a way, but I feel that more people listen to you if you actually can break down things from the mainstream. And the Raw Journalist does that actually a lot. He'll show footage from a C-SPAN congressional hearing or something, and he'll basically break it down like, this is what they're telling you, this is what they're saying. And I think that gets through to a lot of people.
Well, you know what, though? I actually kind of understand that, too, because it's just being comfortable, right? Because I think people are in this paradigm, and they're comfortable. So if they have something to kind of hold on to, especially if they're going to explore a new paradigm, they kind of have to put their toe in the water instead of jumping in. They have to kind of ease into the water. Yeah. So I think if they have something that they can initially relate to before they really go into something extreme or something that is very, very new to them, it's more comforting to some people,
Yeah,
to actually, get informed that way. But you know what? I have so much when I present my stuff to people. I just have so much confidence that the mainstream, you know, all these people that we initially believe are just lying, and you can prove it. I don't even care. I'm just like, fine, look it up, you know. But a lot of people don't even want to bother to do that. But I'm just like, I don't feel like I have anything to hide or anything. I don't have to like fudge my words or fudge any information that I'm giving. I just lay it all out there.
Yeah, I used to get into fights. I used to get into fights with people on Facebook or, you know, things like that, and I would always, you know, I'd have a lot of links, and I'd want to back up my information. Now I don't even care. I just am like, just look it up. I don't care if you either want to or you don't.
Yeah, but even if you put the links out there, because I would do the same thing. They didn't even care. They never look it up, but they want you to look their stuff up.
Right.
And I actually I've been in situations where when I used to do that I would actually read the stuff that people would give it to me, and I would just throw it back in their face and use it against them. And I had this one girl that she was a teacher that I work with in Taiwan, and she was just she gave some stuff to me. She was like, well, look at this. And I was like, well, next time when you give me links, don't send me stuff that I can use against you, because you just look stupid. I just made you look stupid because I basically threw the information that you gave me back in your face. Yeah. And then she unfriended me. Yeah. Oh, what a shame.
I know. I just don't even bother anymore because it's a waste of my time, and I know what I'm talking about. I understand things, and so it kind of grosses me out because sometimes I watch the mainstream just because I want to decipher what they're saying, but it's so bad. The programming is so bad because I've realized that when I do check out CNBC or MSNBC or CNN or Fox News, none of them really do any reporting. All they do is commentary. Yeah. They do their own comments on what they think is going on, and they think, you know, da-da-da. And it goes on for days, and they talk about nothing, and they fight.
And you know, but unfortunately, a lot of people are so indoctrinated, they don't know the difference. They just know that if you see somebody sitting behind the desk that looks very important and has a strong tone in their voice, and that's all that authoritarian kind of like, you know, stance that they take behind the desk, telling you, you know, that what you're supposed to what they're telling you is important. So they're going to say, oh, that poor person is important. He's on TV. He's on television. I need to listen to what he says, you know.
Yeah, no.
Because they have our best interests at heart, which isn't the case, so.
No, it isn't. And so I appreciate the Raw journalist. I think he does a good job. He's an independent journalist, and you know, I mean, he's done his research, so do your own.
Well, you know what? It's really good too. Like, I want to make a comment before we wrap up really fast that I see a lot of people making videos, and I think that's wonderful. Like their own videos, you know, on YouTube, and talking about it's a way too that we're actually getting to communicate with each other and talk to each other, and you know, with the gun control videos. So like I made a video, we made some rants and stuff about it, like that issue that's going on. But I've also been checking out what other people have to say, and it's really, really cool because you're hearing what people have to say. Like all around the world, we're connected, and I know that there in some, especially in the truth movement, there is some kind of paranoia because they, you know, all of this technology that they have could virtually be used to spy on us, right. You know. But at the same time, we can also turn it around on them, you know, and watch them and spy on them. But you know, like the people that, you know, like Anderson Cooper has that you're talking about this the report that he did, like demonizing what he called internet conspiracy theorists. But now we can just throw a video up and have a voice and put our voice out there. We can be heard. You know, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. And I thank you for the people that are like coming out and doing that. It's amazing. I love it. Do more of it.
It is exciting. I know, it really is. And it's saddening when you see how many people will go and they buy into what he has to say, but then it's also inspiring when you see how many people don't. And how many people are like, you know, shut up, Fed. You know, sit down, you CIA agent. You know, we all know who you are and who you work for. And it's good, and I really think that, you know, I remember Dr. Rima, and she told us that their real secret is that they're actually weak.
Yeah, it's true, though.
Yeah.
Why are they, you know, yeah.
I don't think they're all that. You know, everyone's like, oh, they're so smart. They ain't that smart.
You know,
they They just got born into it. That's all. They're not that smart.
You know what the thing is, too? It's like I think, this is an instinct, but from what I'm seeing now, if you think about the number of people who quote-unquote run things, I think there are at least enough people awake that to match the people that are running things. And now the people that are left could be swayed either way.
Yep.
I think that's what we're attempting to do. We're trying to give people an alternative, you know, to really decipher and see. But there's some people that are still they're gonna be driven by fear and they're gonna go to to the authoritarian side, and because, you know, they don't want to take responsibility for themselves and they don't want to do research and look things up and be empowered. But there are also people that are going to come onto this information that's going to empower them. So
right.
I don't know, like, yeah, we're living in interesting times, but I have my days sometimes I get down and it goes up. For the most part, I think, because, you know, I'm awake.
Right.
I wasn't awake, and there are a lot of people that are awake that weren't, and we have the internet. There are a lot of positives that are going on. So, and I know they're scared. They're freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. They are afraid, and, you know, so we're doing our job, and everybody out there's doing their job. So, we're grateful to them all, and specifically the raw journalist, because he came on our show today and gave us a really good, interesting talk. So we hope you guys check out his YouTube channel, Lied Too Bad, and see what work he's doing and the reporting that he's doing, which is really interesting, and I hope that people check that out. And check us out at trutherteeth.com, our store, shop.trutherteeth.com. We're going to go ahead and sign out, close out the show. And as always, with peace, truth, and love.